Number two, you don't marry your friend. Ask yourself, your best friend when you were in primary one, you know where he is? That's your best friend that you went out for sport together. You were doing uniform. You are just 30 years old. You can't even remember their names. Those things fade away. The word for friendship is called filio. Passive feeling. That feeling is too passive to build your destiny. What you do is that when you marry, you make your spouse your friend. If you marry your friend, you will now discover that the bond between friends does not reach blood. Meanwhile, the bond of marriage is from the blood. It's covenant. It's deeper than a sense of dependence, emotional dependence. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than mutual understanding. It is something that goes deep into the blood. And so you cannot allow that passive connection that a misunderstanding can break to become the basis for marriage. Many friendship breaks on the strength of misunderstanding. But marriage cannot break. When you misunderstand yourself, after a while, you compare yourself to understand yourself. If you misunderstand your friend, you can walk away. But when you misunderstand your wife, you will walk back. When you misunderstand your husband, you will walk back. Many are not aware. They thought their wives and their husbands are their friends. And so the same way they quarrel with their friends and say, go to her, they will tell their wives that when you go out, if you finish drinking your gogoro, you will come back in the night. Because there are those who are drunks that have no regard for God. But you will still come back home. It's not a friendship. To enjoy it, you can create an atmosphere of friendship. You can build friendship with your wife. You can build friendship with your lover. But marriage is covenant. That kind of agreement is not two of you that are involved. There's a spirit also involved. And that spirit that is involved is not part of your misunderstanding. It's not easily broken. He will not allow it. When you finish keeping the malice, come back together. When you finish quarreling, come back together. And many times, nobody will be there to settle you. Because if people settle you too much, your marriage will become a shame. But the word taught us, just because you people understand yourselves. And meanwhile, this understanding are mostly on shallow things. They read things of life. They are not even bold to share it. They hide it. But they say, we are friends. And when you ask them, they say, we've been friends for 5 years. That's why somebody will be your friend for 7 years. And then later, you see him planning an engagement. Then you say, what happened? He said, no, I never told you I wanted to do anything. We have just been friends. You will now go home and start fasting and crying and weeping to the Lord that you were friends for 7 years. And that's why we counsel people. If a young man is blocking your space, ask him, what is the matter? Because you don't marry your friend. He can wake up after 7 years and tell you that we were just friends. Did I tell you anything? And if you like, take it to any court, even if it's the court of heaven. They will tell you you were friends. If somebody begins to come too close, there's a gap between a friend and a spouse. So find out if it's friendship. Don't call me by 12 midnight and say you are just checking on me. No. 12 midnight is for somebody. Now, because your husband is not your friend and because your wife is not your friend, but you can build friendship, who are they?